Yo guys, how's it going? I've been asked to give some tips on direction from home, considering our work from home situation. I've always found it a little difficult to give advice on direction, considering it's a bit subjective, it's a bit personal. It's also not as technical as editing or cinematography. Although I would like to see an editing from home tips video, because it would be just like the same, like just editing. Cool. So, some anecdotal experience that may help fellow filmmakers out there. I think the number one thing for a director, despite a lockdown or not, is to understand and to know what they want. And how do you know what you want? By pretending to know what you want. But jokes aside, I think it's really important to have clarity on what you want out of the film, what the sequence of shots should be, how long do we have to tell a story, what each shot should convey in sequence. So it's really important to know the edit. It's really important to know what you want out of the person. Do you want a red dress? Do you want a person clean shaved? Do you need to be horizontal, vertical? Although all those sort of details are secondary, what you really need to concentrate is on your story, and you need to have clarity on what you're trying to convey as a message. And there are a couple of ways to get that clarity, and considering we're working from home right now, you need that clarity even now more than ever. So there are three ways on how I actually get this clarity, and it's something that we all do. Is basically prototype your film, right? So you do that by either having a storyboard, or you have a visual breakdown, or what I love, a test edit. A test edit is essentially I just pull out either storyboard images or reference footage, and I put the track together, and it just gives you a flow of how your film will look like. So it helps you visualize, it helps everybody align, and it gives someone a sort of a prototype to follow. In the lockdown, I've sort of directed two projects, one for Upgrad and one for Tinder. And the most important thing I think in this experience, like I said earlier, was to have clarity in the process, so that you could convey that to your actors, your cinematographers, who in this case most probably are the same person because they are going to be shooting themselves. So how we did it was we got on a WhatsApp call, and we checked out the exact frame we needed because we were shooting from cell phones. Once we got the frame in place, we spoke about the action for a bit with the actor, gave them background in terms of what their shot was going to be followed with, and what was the next shot going to be, so they understand the energy. I think it's much more difficult right now to be able to match, like set and match a color tone or a color spectrum for the film. So what I would say, embrace that sort of variety and change, because most brands are looking for that, since every house and every frame will look different as well.
We also did a mixed media piece for Upgrad where we had to meticulously plan. The idea was to show a phone sort of rapping to you at this point, making it an inanimate object, telling you about how you shouldn't waste your time during the quarantine and learn something new. And it was quite interesting because we had to meticulously plan each shot. We had to figure out what's the best place for us to keep a rig, so that it would be easily removable by the post team, coordinate remotely, and had to send in test shots. After the test shots were approved, actually shoot it, then they would animate it, do cleanup, add facial textures to the characters, and then do their magic.
I think most important right now for any directors to be able to just communicate intent. Just communicate and translate that intent of what you want from your actor, and your person who's shooting, or your editor, saying that I want you to be able to process and capture this energy, because this is what the film is looking for, and then let them do it, and trust the process. So yeah, I think in general that's literally the only tips I have. If there was a quick sort of lowdown I had to give you, always trust the process. I think you need to have clarity on what you want, and then give that clarity to everybody, and then just trust the process, because there are experts who are going to be helping you shape up your film. I can guarantee you that the best directors, whether it's Wes Anderson or Anurag Kashyap, or everybody till date, has the imposter syndrome, where they definitely feel like they don't know what they're doing and may get the nerves even till date. So it's completely normal to feel a little anxious or feel like you don't know what you're doing, but I think at the end of the day, you gotta trust the process, believe in the film that you're making, have some clarity, and once you trust the process, you will see that it comes together, and you'll probably have made something that you're proud of. Every film is an effort to learn more. You make your mistakes and you realize you're not the best director, but you keep learning, and I think that's what's important. Yeah, so I think if I had to quickly recap, for working from home and directing remotely is just basically prototype your film, so you have more sort of clarity going forward and be able to rally all your crew together. And second is just communicate intent as clearly as possible. And third is trust the process. See you.